All right, strap in everybody, because today we are going deep on something that might just rewrite your future, and that is the world of de-aging.
Ooh, that sounds exciting.
Yeah, and specifically we're digging into a company called InTheZone Labs and all the sciencey stuff behind how they do things.
Okay.
You know, you send over some pieces from their promotional stuff and some research papers, so
Yeah.
think of this as like your cheat sheet to really figuring out what InTheZone Labs is all about.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
All right, so, what I find really interesting here is this whole idea that aging,
Yeah.
that feeling of like slowing down,
Yeah.
losing your edge,
Yeah.
maybe it's not like this unavoidable decline, like we've always kind of been told it is.
Totally. And that's really what's intriguing about this whole de-aging thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, what if you could, like, hit the pause button or even rewind a little bit?
Okay, so you've definitely got my attention.
Yeah.
But let's break it down. Like what exactly even is de-aging?
Right.
Is it just like, trying to look younger?
It's so much more than, like, skin-deep de-aging. It's really about keeping your brain and your body working at their best, no matter how old you are.
I like that.
Like, imagine feeling as sharp and, like, energetic at 60 as you did at 25.
Yeah.
That's what InTheZone Labs is after.
Okay, so we're talking like, feeling younger,
Yeah.
thinking faster, having that like get up and go energy for like years to come.
Right.
Okay, I like it.
And, like, the key here is realizing that the real action is happening way down at the cellular level. Like, the tiny stuff,
Okay.
the stuff you sent me, points out these, like, 5 accelerators of aging. They're basically, like, processes inside us
Right.
that make us, like, decline as we get older.
Okay, so like 5 things that are making us like get old.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sneaky little culprits.
Okay, lay it on me.
Okay, so first up, we've got telomere shortening.
Okay.
So think of telomeres like the protective caps on your chromosomes.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the plastic tips on your shoelaces.
Okay.
Every time a cell divides, those telomeres get a little bit shorter.
Okay.
Eventually, they get so short, the cell just can't divide anymore.
Mhm.
And that leads to aging.
So shorter telomeres like older cells.
Yeah, pretty much.
Got it.
Yeah.
What else is on this list of things that are messing with our cells?
All right, next we've got mitochondrial decline.
Mitochondrial decline.
Yeah, so mitochondria are kind of like the powerhouses of your cells.
Okay.
They take nutrients and turn them into energy. But
Yeah.
as we get older,
Yeah.
they get kind of like less efficient. Do you
Yeah.
ever feel that like midday slump or that brain fog?
Oh yeah, all the time.
That could be like partly your mitochondria struggling to keep up.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So that's why I could never remember where I put my keys.
Exactly.
What else is working against us at like this super tiny level?
Okay, well, this one's kind of creepy.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of zombie cells?
Zombie cells, like from like The Walking Dead. What do zombies have to do with aging?
It's a surprisingly accurate analogy.
Really?
Yeah, these zombie cells, also called senescent cells, are cells that have stopped dividing, but they just won't die.
Okay.
They just hang around,
Yeah.
releasing these harmful substances that damage nearby tissues
Oh.
and speed up aging.
Okay, officially freaked out, but I need to know more.
Okay, yeah.
What are the last 2 things we got to worry about?
All right, the fourth one is chronic inflammation,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes called inflammation.
Okay.
It's not like the inflammation you get when you, like, hurt yourself.
Right.
This is like low-grade persistent inflammation that
Mhm.
quietly damages your tissues and organs over time.
So it's like a slow burn that's constantly like chipping away at our health.
That's a good way to put it.
And the final villain in our cellular drama.
All right, neurotransmitter imbalance.
Okay.
So as we age, our production of key neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin can decline.
Yeah.
Those are crucial for mood, motivation, sleep,
Right.
all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And so an imbalance could cause a ton of issues.
Okay, so we've got these 5 processes
Yeah.
that are working against us.
Yeah.
It all sounds kind of inevitable.
Yeah, it can sound that way.
Is there any hope?
Here's where it gets really exciting, actually. Scientists are finding ways to actually maybe slow down or even reverse these processes.
Okay, wait. So are you telling me we might actually have more control over how we age
Yeah.
than we thought?
That's exactly what InTheZone Labs is banking on.
Okay.
They're developing products designed to target these specific accelerators of aging.
Okay, so now you've really got me intrigued.
Yeah.
Tell me more about InTheZone Labs.
Okay.
Like, what's their approach?
So one of their things is something called bioceuticals.
Bioceuticals?
Yeah, have you ever heard of that?
I don't think so.
So they're kind of like supplements, but like way better.
Yeah, okay.
Not like your basic multivitamin.
Okay.
They're made with specific ingredients that work on those root causes of aging that we were talking about.
Okay, so it's not just about adding what you might be missing from your diet.
Right.
It's about giving your body the tools to actually work better at like the cellular level.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then InTheZone Labs is really into this other thing called nootropics.
Nootropics?
Have you heard of that?
Not
So
really.
those are compounds that can make your brain work better.
Okay, so like, thinking, memory, focus.
Yeah, all of that, like creativity, motivation.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, it's pretty wild. Nootropics, that sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie.
Maybe, but it's actually real.
Wow.
And it's becoming more and more important, as technology and AI just get more advanced.
Right, because if AI is getting smarter, we need our brains to keep up.
Exactly. We need to like hack our brains to keep up with the robots,
Yeah.
So nootropics can give us that extra edge, that brain power we need to keep up in this fast-changing world.
Okay, so it's not just about living longer.
Right.
It's about staying like mentally agile
Yeah.
and competitive in a world that's just changing faster than ever.
Exactly.
I like it.
Yeah, and InTheZone Labs talks about how nootropics can contribute to like cognitive endurance.
Cognitive endurance.
So that's like the ability to stay focused and mentally sharp for long periods of time,
Yeah.
which is so important these days.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And then there's brain longevity, so keeping your brain healthy and functioning well for the long haul.
I like that.
Yeah. Okay, so
So it's not just about like a quick fix.
Right.
It's about investing in your long-term brain health.
yeah, I like that. It's empowering to think that we can actually do something
Exactly.
to keep our brains healthy.
Yeah.
But I'm like dying to know what's in these products.
Right.
Like what ingredients are they using to do all of this?
So they've talked about some really cool ingredients like resveratrol. Have you heard of that?
I think so. Isn't that in like red wine? Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And it's been shown to activate sirtuins, which are these genes.
Okay.
They're often called longevity genes.
Longevity genes?
Yeah, because they help protect our DNA and regulate cellular health.
Longevity genes? That sounds pretty promising.
It does, right.
What else?
Okay, so they also use these things called NAD plus precursors.
Okay.
So NAD plus is like this coenzyme.
Yeah.
It's essential for energy production and DNA repair.
Yeah.
But our levels decline as we age.
Okay.
Taking these precursors can boost those levels back up and give your cells a much needed energy boost.
Okay, that makes sense. Anything else that stood out to you?
Yeah, they also mention omega-3 DHA, the one that's good for your brain.
Yeah.
It helps with like cognitive function, memory, even mood.
Okay.
And then there's collagen,
Collagen.
which is great for skin elasticity, but
Yeah.
it's also really important for joint health
Okay.
and even brain function.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Okay, so it's not just about like anti-aging from the outside in.
Right.
It's about supporting like the building blocks of our bodies from the inside out.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all about that.
I like it.
And then they also include B vitamins for energy and nerve function, alpha GPC
Okay.
to boost acetylcholine levels for learning and memory.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bacopa monnieri, that's an herb that's traditionally been used to help memory and focus.
So they're combining like ancient wisdom with like modern science.
That's exactly it.
That's cool.
And then there are adaptogens. Have you heard of those?
Yeah.
Like L-theanine and rhodiola rosea.
Yeah.
Those help your body deal with stress better. So theanine is known for promoting relaxation without making you drowsy.
Okay.
And rhodiola can actually improve your mood, reduce fatigue, and even make you think more clearly.
So instead of just like masking the symptoms of stress,
Yeah.
adaptogens actually help us handle it better.
Exactly.
That's really cool.
And it's especially important when you consider how much stress can speed up the aging process.
Okay.
Yeah, that chronic stress is a real problem.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, this is like a lot to take in.
I know, right?
It's super
Yeah,
fascinating.
it is.
So InTheZone Labs is combining these bioceuticals, nootropics, and adaptogens
Yeah.
to make products that actually target aging, like at its core.
That's what they claim. Yeah. And they
Okay.
have two main formulas that they focus on: Focused Youth and Focus Extreme.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm hooked.
Yeah.
Tell me more about these formulas. What makes them different
All right. So Focused Youth was actually originally made for kids.
for kids?
Yeah,
Okay.
to help their brains develop. But it turns out
Yeah.
it's actually a powerful de-aging tool for adults, too.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
They say it helps with cell renewal, memory, skin elasticity, and basically it gives your brain the fuel it needs.
So it's like laying a solid foundation for brain health and longevity?
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Okay.
And then there's Focused Extreme.
Okay.
That's their high performance formula.
Mhm.
packed with all these advanced nootropics.
Okay.
It's designed to supercharge your focus, fight fatigue, and optimize your brain's processing power.
So focused youth is for building a strong base.
Yeah.
And focused extreme is for when you really need that mental edge.
Exactly.
Like in high pressure situations.
Yeah, exactly. I like it. And they'll sell these products on their website, their TikTok shop, and even on Amazon.
Wow, they're covering all the bases.
Yeah, they are.
That's interesting.
They're making it easy to get your hands on these products.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but before we get into the nitty gritty of their specific products and
Right.
where to find them,
Yeah.
I want to zoom out a little bit
Yeah.
and talk about the bigger picture here.
Okay.
The stuff you sent me mentioned this thing called the longevity economy.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
So it's this idea that as people live longer, healthier lives, they're going to spend more money on products and services that help them stay vital and keep their brains sharp.
Yeah.
And we're talking about a multi-trillion-dollar industry.
Wow, that's massive.
It's huge.
Yeah, but I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
People are always looking for ways to look and feel their best.
Yeah.
And if science can actually deliver on this promise of slowing down aging,
Yeah.
that's a game changer.
It really is. Yeah.
And it's not just about individual people, right?
Right.
Think about the impact this could have on different industries.
Totally.
Like, give me some examples.
Okay, well, healthcare, for one.
Yeah.
Imagine if we could actually lower healthcare costs by preventing or delaying all these age-related diseases.
That would be incredible.
Yeah, it would be huge.
Yeah.
And then in technology, the people can think better. That could lead to faster innovation and better problem solving.
So de-aging isn't just about living longer.
Right.
It's about making those years better.
Yeah.
Being able to do things, contribute,
Yeah.
and really experience life to the fullest for as long as possible.
Exactly. That's what it's all about.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
Okay, so that brings us to the 6 core groups that InTheZone Labs says could benefit from their products.
Okay.
You ready to dive in?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so first up, entrepreneurs and business leaders.
Mhm.
Why do they need de-aging products?
So think about how demanding the business world is today.
Yeah,
It's relentless.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurs and leaders have to be on point, adaptable, and they need to be able to outthink their competition.
Yeah.
But as we get older,
Yeah.
it can be harder to maintain that edge.
So it's not just about physical energy, right?
Right.
It's about mental stamina, being able to think clearly
Yeah.
and make those tough decisions, even when you're under pressure.
Exactly.
Okay, so what are some of the specific challenges that they face?
So they talk about things like decision fatigue, burnout, and even age-related cognitive decline as major obstacles.
Yeah.
And they claim their products can help entrepreneurs combat these issues,
Okay,
giving them an advantage in today's hyper-connected world.
that makes sense. What about the second group?
All right, so the second group is high-performance professionals.
High performance professionals.
So we're talking about doctors, lawyers, engineers,
Mm-hmm.
anyone who has to process a ton of information, make critical decisions,
Yeah.
and operate at their best mentally day in and day out.
So brain surgeons, pilots.
Exactly.
People where, if they mess up,
Right.
it could have serious consequences.
Huge consequences, yeah.
Okay.
So they need to be really sharp.
Okay, so I can definitely see how de-aging products would be appealing to them.
Yeah, for sure.
What kind of challenges are they dealing with?
They talk about things like short-term memory overload,
Yeah.
fatigue from long hours,
Right.
and the effects of stress on their brains.
Right.
And they say that their products can help with memory recall,
Okay.
mental clarity,
Mm-hmm.
and sustained energy, especially for those really tough work days.
Makes sense. Okay, I'm starting to see a pattern here.
Yeah,
These are all jobs where staying mentally sharp is key for success.
exactly. It's mission critical for them.
Right.
Yeah.
But what about the third group, athletes and fitness enthusiasts?
Yeah.
How does de-aging fit into their world?
So it's not all about muscles and training.
Right.
It's also about recovery, endurance, and mental focus.
Okay, so are they saying de-aging products can actually make athletes perform better?
That's what InTheZone Labs is suggesting.
Okay.
Yeah. They talk about ingredients like collagen for tissue repair, mitochondrial boosters for energy and endurance, and anti-inflammatory nootropics to speed up recovery.
So they can get back to training faster.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's like a holistic approach to performance.
I like it.
Optimizing both the body and the mind.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating.
It is. Okay, on to the fourth group, students and lifelong learners.
Mm-hmm.
Why would they need de-aging products?
So learning takes focus, memory, and being able to process information quickly.
Right.
And as we age, those abilities can decline,
Yeah.
making it harder to learn new things and retain information.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so de-aging products could help people learn more effectively
Okay.
and remember what they learned for longer.
I can see how that would be beneficial
Yeah, for sure.
for, like students who are trying to get good grades
Totally.
or just anyone who wants to keep learning new things.
Yeah, lifelong learning is so important.
It is. Okay. What about the fifth group?
Okay, parents and caregivers.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Why that group specifically?
So parenting and caregiving, they can be incredibly demanding,
Yeah, for sure.
both mentally and emotionally.
Yeah,
It can lead to fatigue, stress, and even cognitive decline.
it's true. You're constantly on,
Right.
juggling responsibilities, and
Yeah.
often you put your own needs last.
Totally.
So how do de-aging products fit into that?
So InTheZone Labs argues that their products can help parents and caregivers fight that mental fatigue,
Okay.
get better sleep, and generally support their brain health.
I like that perspective.
Yeah.
It's not selfish to prioritize your own cognitive health.
Right.
It's actually like an act of service to the people you care for.
Exactly.
Okay, and last but not least, who's the sixth group?
All right. Aging professionals and biohackers.
Ah, the biohackers.
Yeah, those are the real de-aging enthusiasts.
Yeah.
But even for people who aren't like ready to implant chips in their brains,
Right.
the desire to stay sharp mentally and physically as we age is pretty common.
Yeah, it's universal.
It is, yeah.
Okay, so what challenges does this group face, and how does InTheZone Labs think they can help?
So as we get older, it's natural for our brains to slow down a bit.
Yeah,
We might get tired more easily.
Right.
And there's always that worry about age-related cognitive decline.
right. That fear of like losing your mental edge.
Yeah, or not being able to keep up with the younger generation.
Exactly.
InTheZone Labs says their products can address those concerns
Okay.
by supporting cellular lifespan, boosting energy, and potentially even preventing memory loss.
Okay, so they're targeting like some core anxieties that people have about aging.
Yeah, for sure.
That's interesting.
And whether you believe the hype or not,
Yeah.
it's clear that de-aging is here to stay.
I agree.
Yeah, it's a growing trend.
It is, and as we kind of wrap up this part of our deep dive,
Yeah,
I'm struck by just how much more there is to explore.
right. We're just getting started.
Yeah, I mean, we've only scratched the surface of the science
Yes.
of the products and like the potential impact of de-aging.
That's a huge topic
It is.
with a lot to unpack.
But before we move on,
Okay,
I'm going to leave you with this question.
okay.
What if aging wasn't something to be afraid of
Yeah,
or dreaded,
right.
but instead like an opportunity for growth,
Yeah, I had
evolution,
that.
and expansion?
It's a really powerful way to reframe it. It
Yeah.
shifts the focus from like decline to possibility.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's really the essence of de-aging.
Okay.
It's not about denying that we age.
Right.
It's about making the most of our health and our minds
Yeah.
so we can age gracefully, vibrantly, and with purpose.
Beautifully said.
Okay, and before we jump into the next part of our deep dive,
Okay.
I want to leave you with one more thought.
All right.
What does aging well actually mean to you?
That's a good question.
Yeah, something to think about.
Definitely.
We'll be back soon to tackle that question and more, so stay tuned.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so let's switch gears a bit
Okay.
and talk about energy.
Okay.
Something I know you're interested in.
Always.
InTheZone Labs, they make a pretty bold statement about coffee
Okay.
and why your daily,
Yeah.
coffee ritual
Yeah.
might actually be hurting you in the long run.
Yeah. That definitely caught my attention.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us, myself included,
Yeah.
really rely on that morning cup of coffee or three
Gotta get that
to
caffeine.
get going. So,
Yeah.
what's the problem with caffeine?
Well, they're not saying it's all bad. They get it. It gives you that quick boost. But they say it comes with like hidden costs.
Okay. Like
What about those energy spikes and crashes?
Oh, yeah. I know those all too well.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah.
Like a roller coaster for your energy level.
Totally. Yeah.
Up and down, up and
It's
down.
exhausting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they argue that that can actually lead to something called adrenal fatigue.
Adrenal fatigue. Okay. I've heard that term thrown around,
Yeah.
but I'm not really sure what it is.
Yeah, so basically,
Yeah.
your adrenal glands, they produce hormones that regulate your energy, stress response, all that.
Mm-hmm.
And when they're constantly being hit with caffeine, they can just get worn out.
Okay.
And that leads to like fatigue, brain fog, mood swings, all sorts of not fun stuff.
So it's like I'm using caffeine to push myself,
Yeah.
but I'm actually wearing down my body's natural energy system.
Exactly. You're burning the candle at both ends.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what was the other thing they said about coffee?
Right. So the third thing
Yeah.
is that it doesn't actually provide any cellular support.
Okay, so I'm with you so far. But what do they mean by cellular support?
Okay, so remember those 5 accelerator of aging?
Yeah, the zombie cells.
Yeah, all of those?
Yeah.
Well, caffeine doesn't do anything to address those. In
But
fact, they
yeah.
say that relying on caffeine could actually make aging worse.
Really?
Yeah, because you're getting that temporary boost.
Yeah.
But you're not dealing with the damage that's causing the fatigue in the first place.
So it's like slapping a Band-Aid on a bullet wound.
Exactly, yeah. Good analogy.
Yeah.
Temporary relief, but not a real solution.
Right.
InTheZone Labs claims their products take a totally different approach.
Okay, how so?
They focus on mitochondrial health and neurotransmitter balance
Okay.
to give you lasting energy without those caffeine side effects.
So instead of relying on something external,
Yeah,
they're helping your body create energy naturally.
that's the idea. It's
Okay.
more of a holistic inside-out approach.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like you're borrowing energy versus actually generating it, right?
that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah, InTheZone Labs is all about empowering you to create your own energy so
Okay.
you can perform at your best without those quick fixes that leave you feeling drained.
I like it.
Yeah.
So how do they actually do that? Like, what's the secret?
Okay, so it all comes down to those bioceuticals and nootropics we were talking about.
Yeah.
They're formulated to target those underlying processes that contribute to fatigue and cognitive decline.
Okay, so we're talking about like supporting mitochondrial function,
Mm-hmm.
balancing neurotransmitter levels,
Yeah,
basically giving our bodies what they need to produce and use energy better.
that's exactly it.
Okay.
Yeah, they highlight some specific ingredients
Okay.
that are really important for energy production,
Okay.
like CoQ10 and PQQ. Have you heard of those?
Yeah, we were talking about those before.
Yeah, powerful antioxidants that keep your mitochondria healthy.
It's like fuel for the powerhouses of our cells, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then they also include adaptogens like rhodiola rosea,
Okay.
which has been shown to boost energy and reduce fatigue,
Mhm.
especially when you're stressed.
Okay, so it's like a multi-pronged approach.
Yeah.
They're supporting energy production at the cellular level,
Mm-hmm.
helping us use that energy more efficiently,
Yeah,
and helping our bodies handle stress better.
exactly.
So we don't get those like energy crashes.
That's the idea.
Okay, but is this like actually backed by science?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
These aren't just random ingredients.
Right.
They've been studied for their effects on energy, stress response, and cognitive function.
Okay.
InTheZone Labs is really trying to be a leader in this whole de-aging field,
Yeah.
using science to develop products that actually get to the root of the problem.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah,
It's exciting to think that we might have more control over how we age.
yeah,
You know, it's not just about living longer.
right.
It's about feeling good, having energy,
Totally.
and keeping our minds sharp throughout our lives.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about quality of life.
Okay, so I'm really curious
Mm-hmm.
about like the other side of this.
Okay.
Are there any downsides or risks to this approach?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And it's something we should definitely look into more.
Yeah.
You know, the benefits are exciting.
Yeah.
But we got to be aware of potential risks.
Right.
There's still a lot we don't know about some of these ingredients
Okay.
and how they affect different people.
Right. So individual results may vary.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's important to remember that these products aren't like a magic solution. They're meant to be part of a healthy lifestyle.
Right. So eating right.
Yeah. Good nutrition,
Exercise.
stress management,
Sleep.
good sleep, all of that.
Okay. So it's about like a holistic approach to well-being.
That's it.
And these products are like one piece of the puzzle.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, they can be a powerful tool,
Yeah.
but they're not the whole picture.
Right. Okay. So
Yeah.
before we get too ahead of ourselves,
Yeah.
let's bring it back to InTheZone Labs.
Okay.
They talk about these 6 groups of people
Right.
who they think would benefit from their products.
Yeah, those core groups.
Yeah. So let's dive back into that.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. First up, entrepreneurs and business leaders.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about this a bit earlier.
Yeah.
But why do they need de-aging products?
Okay, so think about the business world.
Mm-hmm.
It's high pressure. It's all about making big decisions,
Yeah.
adapting to change,
Yeah.
staying ahead of the competition. Entrepreneurs and leaders, they have to be on top of their game
Yeah.
to succeed in that kind of environment.
Okay. So it's not just about like looking young.
Right.
It's about like keeping that sharp mind.
Yeah, that mental edge.
Yeah. That allows them to make the tough calls
Exact.
and, stay ahead of the game.
And stay ahead of the curve, yeah.
Yeah.
They need to think clearly, make good judgments,
Yeah.
stay focused even when things get crazy.
Okay.
And InTheZone Labs says their products can help with that
Okay. How so?
by boosting cognitive function
Okay.
Enhancing mental stamina,
Mm-hmm.
reducing stress.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, what about the second group?
All right. High performance professionals.
Okay, so we're talking doctors,
Doctors, lawyers,
physicians, pilots.
pilots, yeah. Anyone in a job where mistakes
Yeah,
can have big consequences.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so think about how much their brains have to handle. They're
Mm.
processing tons of information. Yeah, making critical decisions,
Yeah.
often under a lot of pressure,
Yeah.
working crazy hours.
So they need to be able to focus,
Yeah,
be accurate,
accurate, yeah.
and just be mentally add some.
Exactly, like think on their feet.
Okay, I can definitely see how de-aging products could help them,
Yeah.
stay sharp,
Yeah.
focused,
You know.
especially when, things get tough.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And InTheZone Labs points to specific ingredients in their products
Yeah.
that they say can help with all of that.
Like what?
Nootropics to boost memory and focus,
Okay.
adaptogens to help deal with stress,
Mhm.
and things that support cellular energy production.
Okay. So it's all about keeping those brains firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, exactly. Like giving them the fuel they need.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm noticing a theme here.
Yeah, what's that?
These are all jobs where, mental performance is key.
Yeah. You gotta have a sharp mind for these professions.
I know.
Yeah, it's essential.
What about the third group, athletes and fitness enthusiasts?
All right, so for them,
Yeah.
it's not just about physical strength and pushing your limits.
Right.
It's also about mental toughness,
Okay.
focus,
Yeah.
and being able to recover quickly in those intense workouts.
So are they saying de-aging products can actually help athletes perform better?
That's what InTheZone Labs is suggesting.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, they talk about ingredients that support muscle recovery,
Okay.
reduce inflammation,
Hmm.
boost energy levels, and improve mental clarity.
Okay, so it's about optimizing both the physical and the mental.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a holistic approach to athletic performance.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, what about the fourth group, students and lifelong learners?
All right, so learning,
Yeah.
it takes focus, processing information, and remembering what you learn.
Absolutely.
And as we get older,
Yeah,
those abilities can decline.
that's true.
Makes it harder to learn new things
Right.
and stay sharp.
Okay.
So de-aging products could help people learn more effectively and retain information better.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a pretty powerful idea.
Yeah, it's like, giving your brain a boost,
Exactly.
no matter what age you are.
Yeah, never too early.
Yeah.
Or too late to invest in your brain health.
Okay, love that message.
Yeah.
Okay, on to the fifth group, parents and caregivers. We
Right.
touched on them earlier,
Yeah.
but I'm curious to go a little deeper.
Okay.
What specific challenges are they facing?
So taking care of kids or loved ones,
Yeah.
it can be incredibly demanding, both
Yeah.
physically and emotionally.
Yeah,
It's a 247 job.
it is.
It can lead to sleep deprivation,
Yes.
stress,
Right.
and mental fatigue.
Yeah, you're constantly on
Right.
juggling all these responsibilities.
Yeah, and often putting your own needs last.
Yeah, exactly.
So the Zone Labs says their products can help parents and caregivers with that.
Okay, so how do they do that?
They claim their products can help combat mental fatigue,
Okay.
improve sleep quality,
Hmm.
and boost cognitive function.
Okay, so they have more energy
Yeah, more energy and mental clarity.
to be more present and engaged.
Exactly.
It's like giving them the mental and emotional resources
Yeah,
they need to show up for their loved ones.
that's a great way to put it, yeah.
Okay, and finally, who's that sixth group?
All right, the sixth group is aging professionals and biohackers,
Ah, yes, the
the
biohacker.
pioneers of the de-aging movement.
Right, those are the folks who are all in.
Yeah, they're like on the cutting edge.
Yeah,
But even for people who aren't quite ready to,
right.
implant chips in their brains,
Yeah, not quite there yet.
most people just want to stay sharp and active as they age.
It's a pretty common disorder.
Yeah, it's universal.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are some of the specific concerns this group has?
Yeah, and how does InTheZone Labs think they can help?
So this group is often worried about age-related cognitive decline,
Oh.
losing energy and vitality,
Mm-hmm.
and they're concerned about health issues that could affect their quality of life.
So they want to maintain their independence,
Yeah.
their mental abilities,
Mm-hmm.
and just their overall zest for life.
Exactly. They want to keep doing the things they love for as long as possible.
Yeah.
And InTheZone Labs claims their products can help with that
Okay.
by supporting healthy aging at the cellular level,
Mhm.
boosting energy levels,
Okay.
and protecting against cognitive decline.
Okay, so it's like a multifaceted approach.
Yeah, it's about addressing aging from multiple angles.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
It's fascinating to think about how de-aging could change so many things.
Yeah, it's really mind-blowing.
Our careers, our relationships, our health, our well-being.
It touches everything.
Yeah, it really does.
It's a big deal.
But before we dive into those bigger implications,
Okay.
I want to circle back to something we touched on earlier.
Okay, what's that?
In the Zone Labs view on caffeine,
Right, the coffee debate.
yeah, they made some pretty bold claims about why our daily coffee habit might not be so great.
Yeah, they definitely got people's attention with that.
I think so.
Yeah.
So let's break it down. What's their argument against caffeine?
So they're not saying caffeine is like evil or anything.
Okay.
They acknowledge that it can give you a quick energy boost,
Right. But,
but they say it comes with some hidden costs.
okay.
They talk about those energy spikes and crashes.
Oh, yeah, the caffeine roller coaster.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That up and down can be really hard on your body.
It is. I've experienced that firsthand.
Yeah, we all have.
Yeah.
And they say it can lead to adrenal fatigue.
Okay, so we talked about adrenal fatigue before,
Yeah.
but I want to make sure I really understand it.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Can you explain it a little more?
Yeah, so your adrenal glands,
Yeah.
they produce hormones that regulate a bunch of stuff.
Okay.
Like energy levels, stress response, metabolism when you're in caffeine.
Yeah.
Your adrenal glands have to work overtime
Okay.
to keep up with the demand.
So it's like we're pushing them to their limit,
Yeah,
and eventually they get tired and burnt out.
exactly. Like they're exhausted.
Okay.
And when that happens, you can get all sorts of symptoms.
Okay, like what?
Fatigue, brain fog, trouble concentrating,
Mm-hmm.
mood swings, problems sleeping.
Okay, that sounds pretty bad.
Yeah, it can be pretty rough.
Yeah. I guess that explains why sometimes I feel more tired
Mm-hmm.
after my afternoon coffee.
Yeah, it's like it backfired than I did before I drank it.
Exactly. The crash can be worse than the initial fatigue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what was the other issue they had with caffeine?
Right. So the other problem is that caffeine doesn't actually fix anything.
Okay.
It doesn't address the underlying causes of aging and cellular damage.
Okay.
In fact, they say relying on caffeine might actually make aging worse
Really?
because you're getting that temporary boost
Right.
without actually dealing with the root of the problem.
So we're masking the symptoms,
Yeah, exactly.
but not addressing the cause.
Right. It's like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound.
Exactly, yeah.
It might make you feel better for a little bit,
Yeah.
but it's not a real solution.
Okay, so they've made a pretty convincing argument against caffeine.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But what's their alternative?
Okay, so that's where their blend of bioceuticals and nootropics comes in. Okay, remember all those cool ingredients we talked about?
Yeah, yeah.
They formulated their products to target those cellular processes that are contributing to fatigue and cognitive decline.
Okay.
They're designed to help your body create and use energy more efficiently.
So it's like a more natural way to boost energy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they talk about specific ingredients
Yeah.
that are key for energy production.
Like what?
Okay, so they mentioned CoQ10 and PQQ.
Yeah, yeah, we talked about those, the mitochondrial powerhouses.
Yeah, they're powerful antioxidants that keep those mitochondria healthy.
Right, so it's like giving our cells a boost from the inside out.
Exactly, yeah. Fueling those energy factories.
Okay.
And then they also include adaptogens, like rhodiola rosea,
Okay.
which can help your body adapt to stress
Yeah.
and improve energy levels.
Okay, so it's like a multi-pronged approach,
Exactly.
addressing energy production, how we use that energy,
Mm-hmm.
and how we deal with stress.
Right, it's about optimizing all those systems.
Okay, so this sounds really promising.
Yeah.
But is there actually science to back this up?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
These ingredients have been studied for their effects on energy,
Yeah.
stress response, and brain function.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, InTheZone Labs is really trying to be at the forefront of this de-aging movement,
Yeah.
using scientific research to create products that work.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, it's not just hype.
Okay, good.
It's based on real science.
So it's exciting to think that we might actually have more control over how we age.
Yeah, it's a really empowering idea.
Yeah.
But I'm also curious about, the other side of this.
Okay.
Are there any potential downsides or risks to think about?
Yeah, that's a great question.
I think it's important to be aware of those.
Yeah.
While the benefits are exciting,
Yeah.
there's still a lot we don't know about the long-term effects
Okay.
of some of these ingredients
Right.
and how they might affect different people differently.
So like individual results may vary.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's important to remember that these products aren't a magic bullet.
Okay.
They're meant to be part of a healthy lifestyle.
Right, so you can't just like pop a pill
Yeah.
and expect to be like, 20 years younger.
It's not a quick fix.
Yeah.
It's about working with your body
Right.
to support healthy aging.
So good nutrition,
Yeah, good nutrition.
exercise, stress management,
big.
all of that.
It's a holistic approach.
Exactly. It's about taking care of yourself.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground.
Oh, yeah. We talked about the science of aging,
Mm-hmm.
the potential benefits and risks of de-aging products,
Yeah.
and InTheZone Labs' unique approach.
Right, their philosophy.
Yeah, but what about like the bigger picture?
Okay.
What are the potential impacts of de-aging on society?
That's a really great question.
Yeah.
And it's something we'll explore more in the next part of our deep dive. But for
Okay.
now, I want to leave you with this thought.
Okay.
Imagine a world where aging isn't something to fear
Yeah.
or dread,
Okay.
but it's an opportunity for growth,
Mm-hmm.
evolution,
Right.
and
Yeah.
expansion.
It's a different way of looking at it.
It is, yeah. It's about possibility,
Okay.
not decline.
What would you do
Yeah.
with an extra 10, 20, 30 years of healthy life?
It's something to think about,
Yeah, a lot to ponder.
a lot to ponder.
Okay,
yeah.
so we'll be back soon
Yeah.
to explore that question and more. So stay tuned.
All right.
So, you know, as we've been talking about this whole de-aging thing,
Yeah.
I've been thinking about, like, the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Like, what happens if we actually can slow down aging
Mm-hmm.
or even reverse it? Like, what does that mean for the world?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And it's something they touched on in this material you sent. They
Yeah.
talk about this $1 trillion opportunity.
Yeah.
But they also hint at some of the bigger changes that
Yeah.
might happen in society.
So it's not just about people living longer.
Right.
It's about how those longer lifespans could change everything around us.
Exactly. It could have ripple effects.
Okay, like, what kind of changes are we talking about?
Well, for one thing, think about retirement.
Okay.
If people are living longer, healthier lives
Mm-hmm.
and staying mentally sharp, into their 70s, 80s, even 90s,
Yeah.
will they still want to retire at 65?
And that's a good point. I mean, we might see people working
Yeah.
and contributing to society for a lot longer.
Exactly. And that could have a huge impact on the workforce, the economy, even social structures.
Yeah.
We might need to rethink everything about
Wow.
education, careers, how we support an aging population.
Okay, and what about healthcare?
Mm,
We've talked about how de-aging could lower healthcare costs
right.
by preventing or delaying those age-related diseases.
Yeah, but there are other things to think about too.
Okay, like what?
Well, access and affordability, for one.
Okay.
If we have treatments that can extend lifespan,
Yeah,
who gets access to them?
right. It's a good question.
Will they be available to everyone
Yeah.
or only those who can afford them?
Yeah, those are tough questions.
They are, yeah.
No easy answers.
And it's not just about access to treatment either.
Okay.
De-aging also brings up questions about identity
Okay.
and how we see aging.
Okay.
If we can basically choose how we age,
Yeah.
does that change how we see ourselves, our
Mhm.
place in the world?
It's like we're entering this whole new territory.
We are, yeah.
Both scientifically and ethically.
Uncharted territory.
Yeah.
And like any new frontier,
Yeah.
there are going to be challenges, uncertainties, even risks.
Right.
But there's also this huge potential for positive change.
I agree. It's all about finding that balance, right?
Yeah, finding that sweet spot
Yeah.
where we can use these advances to improve lives
Mm-hmm.
without creating new problems.
Right. Without creating new inequalities or
Right.
messing up society.
Exactly. It's about being mindful of the consequences.
Yeah.
And that's going to take open and honest conversations.
Yep.
We need to really think about the ethical side of things
Absolutely.
and make sure these technologies benefit everyone.
Not just a select few.
Exactly. It's about equity and fairness.
Well said.
Yeah.
As we wrap up our deep dive into InTheZone Labs
Yeah.
and this whole world of de-aging,
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling both excited and cautious.
I think that's a healthy perspective.
Yeah.
It's definitely a topic that sparks the imagination,
Mm-hmm.
but also raises some important questions.
Yeah. So on the one hand,
Yeah.
the possibility of slowing down aging,
Yeah.
boosting our brain power and
Yeah.
living longer, healthier lives, pretty amazing.
It is. It's a really exciting prospect.
Yeah. But on the other hand,
Yeah.
we have to be aware of the downsides,
Right.
the ethical issues, and how these changes could affect the world.
Absolutely. We need to proceed with caution and wisdom.
Okay. But I think the main takeaway here
Yeah.
is that de-aging is something we can't ignore anymore.
It's here to stay,
Yeah, it's happening.
whether we like it or not,
And it's going to change our lives.
in profound ways.
I agree.
So stay informed, stay engaged, and stay curious, everyone.
Yeah, because the future's unfolding.
Right in front of us,
And it's up to us to shape it.
in a way that benefits all of humanity.
Beautifully said.
Thank you.
This has been a really incredible deep dive.
It has, yeah.
Thanks to everyone for joining us.
Thanks for having me.